to be talking about what 2022 will be like in Walt Disney World. There are lots of things that have changed recently, lots of things that are changing this year, new things coming this year. We're going to talk about what 2022 will look like in the most magical place on Earth. Can you believe we're already here? I'm still living in 2019, if we're being honest. Chapter 1 of this 2022 video. These are actually things that happened at the end of 2021. These are some of the big new attraction shows, things that opened that probably a lot of you haven't been if you didn't come since the fall of 2021. So we're going to start with a little recap before we get into what's new and coming in 2022. Quite possibly the most notable new thing that came to Walt Disney World at the end of 2021 is REMY'S Ratatouille and the expansion of the France Pavilion in EPCOT. This new family attraction opened up officially on October 1st, Disney's 50th anniversary, and it's a super cute 3D attraction that shrinks you down to the size of a rat and you go on a little adventure with Remy and his pals. But Remy's Ratatouille Adventure isn't the only thing that came to the France Pavilion. They also opened a new restaurant, Le Crêperie de Paris, which has a table service restaurant as well as a walk-up window where you can get authentic crepes and galettes from the amazing French culinary team. This new area is really, really cute, and I think it was needed in the World Showcase. You need more family attractions and things for the little ones to do in this park, especially on this half of the park. There's not that many attractions, and parents usually want to walk around, stroll, eat, drink, and enjoy themselves, and there's not always a lot to keep your kids entertained. I like this attraction more and more every time I ride it. I think it is so cute. I think it's a perfect family attraction, so it's definitely a welcome addition here in Epcot, in my opinion. Disney Enchantment, which is the all-new fireworks spectacular that happens nightly here over Cinderella Castle. This did replace Happily Ever After, which a lot of people were very upset about. I honestly was surprised Happily Ever left. It didn't run as long as a lot of shows tend to, but I actually really like Disney Enchantment. It's an incredible show. The fireworks are bigger and better than they were at Happily Ever After. There are still the projections on the castle, but now there are also projections down Main Street, which is really cool and really immerses you into the story. The only thing I didn't love about this show is that it is for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, and it didn't have anything like Disney World. It had a lot of movie things and such. But it's a really good show. I enjoy it, and that is going to be your nightly fireworks show if you come to the Magic Kingdom this year. One of the biggest things that came to Walt Disney World towards the end of 2021 takes place on this lake right here, and I know you know what it is, Harmonious, the all-new nighttime spectacular that replaced Illuminations after its 20-year run, and then Epcot Forever, which ran for a little over a year. Harmonious is the big new nighttime spectacular here at Epcot. As much as I enjoy Disney Enchantment, I think it's better than Disney Enchantment. The music is excellent, the projections are incredible, the pyro is amazing, and not only are you hearing some of your favorite Disney songs from movies like Coco, The Lion King, Mulan, Beauty and the Beast, but you're also hearing them in their native languages, which what could be more Epcot than that? It's absolutely stunning, and I really, really enjoyed this show. Now, the one downfall to this show, in my opinion, is that it does really matter where you stand, whereas Illuminations, Epcot Forever, you could kind of stand anywhere around the lake and you would have a fine view, but the best view of Harmonious is to be directly into Thanos' ship right in the middle of the lake right there. So ideally you want to be somewhere on the far side, like American Adventure or the near countries to that, or right at World Showcase Promenade when you first get into Epcot. So you do need to stake out a spot a little bit more than you did at some of the former shows. However, I think it's absolutely worth it. It's a must-do for me, and I think it is truly a beautiful, beautiful show. Probably the biggest thing that came at the end of 2022, what year is it? Probably the biggest thing that came at the end of 2021 that will impact your Walt Disney World vacation or Disneyland is GENIE Plus. This is the new FastPass Plus. It's a paid version where you can pay $15 per person per day to have access to skipping the line at over 40 attractions around the parks. There are also fancy rides, as I call them, which are an individual separate fee to skip the lines. It's an incredibly confusing system, which is why I've made 47 different videos on it at this point, going through each park step by step, how to use it, an overview video, what not to do, what to do, how to use it. We will link the GENIE Plus playlist for you, but just know, if there's one thing that changed how you plan for Walt Disney World, it's the debut of the GENIE. One of the biggest and most anticipated things that opened up at the end of 2021 was Space 220. This is that restaurant that takes you to space 220 miles above Earth's surface and lets you dine inside the galaxy. I expected it to be more of like a T-Rex or a Rainforest Cafe level of food, but it's actually very, very good food, and it's a really cool environment. You get to go up in the elevator, and then you get to look out over the galaxy, and there's little Easter eggs that pop out like little astronauts, and there's a space dog. He's obviously my favorite. Now, my recommendation for Space 220, it is a prefix menu. However, if you want to just order a couple of light bites and a cocktail, you can now make a reservation at their lounge, which still allows you the same experience of going up the elevator, being in space, but that way you can just pick a couple of noshes and a cocktail and not commit to a full 3-course meal, which when you're at Epcot, you probably want to eat a lot anyway, so I like to space out my feedings. There is a walk-up if they have availability. However, if you're going to do walk-up, I was just told by a manager that it's 18 and older because it's sitting at the bar. So those are your ways to get in here if you want to eat at Space 220. We did a whole review where Quincy and I ate literally everything on the menu. My favorite was the cauliflower, but we'll link that for you so you can get an idea of what the food and experience is like. These were just a few highlights of the additions in 2021. There was a whole lot more for the 50th. A lot more happened. I actually did a full recap month by month. We will link that video for you so we can get into 2022. That brings us to chapter 2 of this exciting tale. New things we know for sure are coming in 2022. Beep, bop, boop. Beep, bop, boop. That's the droids. Definitely not me making those noises, because they're here to tell you that the biggest thing coming to Walt Disney World that we know about so far opens March 1st, 2022. Of course, I'm talking about the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser, which is better known as the Star Wars Hotel. This 2-night experience has a cruise-like itinerary where you can only book it for those 2 nights. Your meals are included, some of your drinks are included, a land tour of Batuu is included, but it is still really expensive. Like, expensive.
All right, let's check this out. It can't be that expensive. Start 2-night immersive. Start planning. Let's start planning. Okay, we're going down. Plan your voyage, relax. Okay, standard cabin. That looks pretty cool. Looks small but cool. All right. Oh, there's a suite. Let's do. Oh, the Grand Captain suite. Yeah, we want to do that. We want to do. Oh my.
The Starcruiser again officially launches on March 1st, 2022, so you know we'll be covering everything from what it's like to what the rooms look like to the interactive experiences. It does promise to be an interactive experience like nothing we've ever seen before, where you will be able to live your own Star Wars story, where characters will be on board. You may be recruited to help the Resistance or the First Order. It's going to be like a lot of LARPing from my understanding. Now, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but I do like escape rooms and being in immersive experiences, so I feel like I might like it, but also very expensive. You can stay tuned for a lot of videos, a lot of coverage coming about the Starcruiser when that sets sail in March, but that is probably the biggest and hottest topic so far this year. For this next exciting edition coming in 2022, I brought in a special guest to help introduce it. Hey Groot, how are you, friend? I hear you. And all you probably just heard, I am Groot. What I heard is that Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, the brand new coaster, is officially opening here in Epcot summer 2022. While there hasn't been an official date announced, Disney did confirm it'll be sometime this summer, and I am so excited about this attraction. Not only is it Guardians of the Galaxy, who I love, and you know it's going to have an epic soundtrack to go along with this coaster, but it's a first-of-its-kind Omni coaster. They've combined the technology of a roller coaster and an Omni mover, which means you can move it every way you'd like to go. So the car can actually spin, and they can have you focus on a few different things as you go throughout this adventure with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is also set to be one of the longest indoor coasters in the world and also feature Disney's first reverse launch. I did get a sneak peek of this attraction during a media event last year, and we got to go into the building, and let me tell you, it is massive. Like, words cannot describe how tall and how big this set is going to be. It's going to be absolutely incredible, and I think this is the thing I'm most excited about coming to Walt Disney World. New entertainment is on the way in early 2022. Disney hasn't confirmed a date yet, but they have an all-new cavalcade coming to Magic Kingdom called Disney's Adventure Friends Cavalcade. This all-new cavalcade will dance up and down Main Street just like the other ones have, but it'll include some of your favorite adventure friends. And I'm really excited because there's some characters you don't see a lot in the Magic Kingdom. characters from The Jungle Book, Coco, Incredibles, Moana, Brave, Zootopia, Three Caballeros. I really like the cavalcades. This is how Disney was doing characters when the parks reopened and they weren't able to do full parades and full entertainment. So because of that, they had these little short cavalcades that were just like a float or two and a bunch of characters as a pop-up surprise. They're no longer a pop-up surprise. You can see what times they are going to be in the My Disney Experience app, but I still like them because they're short and fun and you get to see a bunch of characters really quickly without taking up as much time as, say, a parade. But don't worry about parades. We're going to get to that. Stay tuned. We've got some new tech coming in 2022 as well. First of all, Magic Bands are a thing of the past. Well, you can still use it, but they're rolling out brand new Magic Band Plus. These are sleeker, newer looking designs, and they have some additional functions. For starters, you can actually interact with these statues that are around the parks for the 50th anniversary. So we're not sure when Magic Band Plus is rolling out, but we'll definitely keep you updated. The other new tech thing coming is Hey Alexa, which is going to be in the rooms around Walt Disney World. It's a collaboration with Alexa, and it will offer different things such as being able to ask about park times, ask for Disney jokes. It's just another service that you can have in the room and just upping the technology of being in the hotels. Again, we're not sure when those are going to roll out, but they will be rolling out this year. One of the biggest changes in Walt Disney World that began on January 1st, 2022 is that there is no longer complimentary bus service from the airport and back to Disney resorts. This was a huge surprise when it was announced last year in 2021 that Magical Express, which again was that complimentary bus service that took you from the airport to whatever Disney resort you were staying at, was being discontinued. Instead, they have replaced it with REMY'S Connect. REMY'S is actually the bus service that provided the Magical Express, but it's no longer a free service. There are two different levels of REMY'S Connect. There is Standard and there is Express. Standard promises to have you on your way within 20 minutes of checking in at your REMY'S Connect stop. It also says there could be a limited number of stops along your way to your resort. Think like on Magical Express, how if you were staying at one of the All-Stars, it might make stops at the other All-Stars before it actually gets to your resort. It says that it will likely be charter buses and vans. Prices for Standard are one-way $16 for an adult and $13.50 for a child. Round trip $32 for an adult and $27 for a child. The other version of this again is called REMY'S Connect Express. This promises a direct service with limited waiting, so you won't be dropped off at other resorts first, and it is more expensive. For 4 passengers, it is $200, and additional passengers are $55 per person. Both levels of service will include onboard entertainment, an arrival souvenir, clean vehicles, friendly drivers, wheelchair accessibility, no surge pricing, and real-time updates. We've got more details on exactly how to use REMY'S Connect on AllEars.net, so make sure you check that out if this is a service that you are going to be looking into. But this was truly one of the biggest changes coming to Walt Disney World, especially if you're a resort guest that doesn't normally rent a car. This is a big update. In addition to REMY'S, another third-party company has announced that they will be doing a shuttle service to and from the airport from Disney resorts. This new one is called the Sunshine Flyer, and reservations are available for trips starting February 1st, 2022. The Sunshine Flyer is $17 per adult, $12.50 per child for one-way, $34.25 for round trip. That cost is again comparable to the REMY'S prices. There's also a Brightline train that's supposed to be being built, but it's been indefinitely delayed, so TBD on when that will happen. Basically to say you will have options this year when you're traveling to and from the airport, but all of them are going to cost you at this point. Coming in next, topic number 3, we are going to talk about things that are returning for sure in 2022. We're talking mostly entertainment, things that haven't come back yet, and now they are coming back, some of them reimagined. Possibly the thing I'm most excited about returning in 2022, Disney has confirmed that Fantasmic, the incredible nighttime spectacular, will be back sometime this year. Now there's no date, but what we do know is that there's going to be a reimagining of one scene. They haven't confirmed which one, but they said one scene is being reworked to include new pyrotechnics, new techniques, and new characters that have never been in the show before. I love, love, love Fantasmic. It's always been my favorite nighttime spectacular over anything at Magic Kingdom, over anything at Epcot. Fantasmic has been my longtime favorite, and it's an incredible stage show slash fireworks slash characters slash water projections. It's amazing. It's all about Sorcerer Mickey having to conquer the villains with the power of imagination, and it's got so many characters. The music's amazing. When Mickey comes out at the end and says some imagination, huh? I cry every single time. I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm getting a little bit teary-eyed. I cannot wait for the show to return. We will for sure have details. I will be here opening night, ready to go. Got a box of Kleenex ready, but Fantasmic is coming back this year sometime, and I can't wait. Some imagination, huh? Do 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 do. My favorite editor. I'm sorry your ears had to hear that. Another thing that Disney has confirmed will be returning in 2022, the Festival of Fantasy Parade. It will once again be dancing through Frontierland, Liberty Square, and down Main Street, which is super duper exciting, especially because up until this point, the only full parade that Disney has had has been the Christmas parade, which was exclusively at the very Merriest After Hours event and then a few weeks during Christmas. But they have not brought back a regular daytime parade, so it's really exciting. If you've never seen Festival of Fantasy, it's an excellent parade with incredible floats. They've got that fire-breathing Maleficent, lots of different dancers, tons of characters. It's a great parade, and I, for one, am so excited to see it come back. Fear not, Nemo friends. You can just keep swimming with the cast of Finding Nemo the Musical as it reopens in 2022 sometime as an all-new retelling of the story. The new version of the show is called The Big Blue and Beyond. The Blue and Beyond? The Big Blue and Beyond? The Big Blue and Beyond? I think it's called The Big Blue and Beyond. One moment. Yes, it's now called Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond. Get it? Because the big blue is the ocean. I get it. I just put that together, and I was at the announcement. This new reimagining of Finding Nemo the Musical will still feature some of your favorite songs like Go With The Flow and The Big Blue World, but it's going to start in the Marine Life Institute from Finding Dory, so it's going to feature some of the new characters as well. Now, if you know me, this is not my favorite thing in Walt Disney World. In fact, it's one of my least favorite things in Walt Disney World. At least the old version was. In my opinion, the puppets were always amazing, the cast was always amazing, but it was a little too long and the benches were really uncomfortable. I'm hoping this new reimagining will reinvigorate my joy for this show as well, because they are, again, going to use those classic songs. I still think the puppets are amazing, but let's hope it's a more straightforward storytelling. Let's maybe hope it's a little shorter, and honestly, let's hope they put pads on your seats. Finding Nemo The Big Blue and Beyond will be debuting sometime this year. TBD when. I'm already ready for everyone to yell at me in the comments about how I don't like this show. Let's be honest. The worst part about the Magic Kingdom is getting here. Whether you have to take a monorail or a boat or park at the Transportation and Ticket Center, it is a hike to get into this park, and that was made worse over the last years. Plural? How long have we been doing this? Time is nothing. That's been made worse since the reopening because at the parking lots, the parking trams weren't running. So wherever you parked, you had to walk all the way up to the main entrance of the park, or in this case, the Transportation and Ticket Center. But never fear, friends, the parking trams have returned to Magic Kingdom by this point, and they will be returning to the other 3 parks in early 2022. Beep beep, driver, you're clear. Also returning in early 2022 is the Castle Stage Show that happens several times throughout the day. Now, it does have some updates. It's now called Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair as opposed to Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair. It will still include favorites from The Princess and the Frog, Tangled, and Frozen, but it's also celebrating the 50th, so the classic characters will be in their iridescent outfits, and there's new costumes for the dancers as well. No date yet, but we'll continue to update when there's one announced. Another thing Disney just confirmed returning in February of 2022, tours. Now, I'm incredibly excited about this, not only because I'm a big Disney nerd and I love learning more about the places that I enjoy so much, but I was actually also a tour guide when I worked in Magic Kingdom Guest Relations. I did Keys to the Kingdom, The Magic Behind Our Steam Trains, Family Magic, and Walt Disney Marceline to Magic Kingdom, so tours are always going to have a soft spot in my heart. The tours that have been confirmed to return are Keys to the Kingdom at the Magic Kingdom, as well as several of the ones here in Disney's Animal Kingdom, including the legendary Wild Africa Trek. Also, Savor the Savannah, Caring for Giants, which is about elephants, the Rhino Tour as well. These are all going to be returning While we don't know exactly what the safety protocols will be and how, if they will be any different than prior to the park closing, it's really exciting that these tours are available. You can book them right now. They're a wide variety of ranges, starting under $40 to almost $200, depending on which one you book. But these are a really, really great way to enhance your vacation, especially if you've been before. And in resort news, Disney recently announced that All-Star Sports would be reopening at the end of March. Reservations are already available. This is very exciting because this is the last of the Disney resorts to reopen. So that means at the end of March of this year, every single Disney World resort will be reopened for the first time in 2 years. Moving right along to section 4. I dropped my phone. Moving right along to section 4, new things we know are coming, but we have no idea when. It could be in 2022, it could be later, but things to look out for. Another new experience still planning to come to EPCOT, but we don't have any further information, is Moana Journey of Water. This is a walkthrough experience where water comes to life by magic, and it's inspired, of course, by Moana. We haven't heard much on this one since it was announced a few years ago. We know it's going to be over in World Nature by the Land Pavilion, and it is still part of the EPCOT experience presentation, which tells me that it's at least still in the books. But is this going to be something we're going to see in 2022? Who's to say? Another new project that Disney hasn't given any updated timeline on is the Tron Light Cycle Run coaster that is going to be in Tomorrowland here in the Magic Kingdom. Tron Light Cycle Run is a coaster that's coming over from Shanghai Disneyland to Tomorrowland here in the Magic Kingdom. And it is a coaster where you're on a motorcycle and you go to the grid. That's that thing. Full disclosure, I've never seen Tron. I don't really have any intention of watching Tron unless I have to for like an RTT or something. I don't think it's going to impact how much I enjoy this coaster. But let me know if I should watch Tron down in the comments. It just never appealed to me. But the point is, Tron is coming, but we don't know when. At one point, it was supposed to open for the 50th, but a lot of this was supposed to open for the 50th, and then, you know, stuff happened and everything got off track. So when will Tron open? I don't know. I hope it's this year, but we'll keep you updated. Another new addition that we don't have any kind of date on is Woody's Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. This is a new table service restaurant coming to Toy Story Land, and again, no idea when. The theme of this is that Woody made a like diorama thing with boxes and he put some of his toys in there. So in the concept art, there's like big cutouts of the dinosaurs and other characters from the Toy Story franchise. No idea when this one will open, if it'll be this year. I'm excited about it because I love Toy Story, but personally, I don't need another barbecue restaurant in Disney World. There's already quite a few. You've got Regal Eagle, Polite Pig, Flame Tree Barbecue. I more would have rather seen a reimagining of Pizza Planet, maybe as a character meal, but no one listens to me, so I'm excited because it's Toy Story, but when are we going to eat there? No idea. Oh, Ralph. Oh, grab my buddy Ralph here to talk about another attraction that we don't know when it's going to open and what the status is, and that is the Play Pavilion. The Play Pavilion was announced to take over where Wonders of Life used to be, in between Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind and Mission Space. And the whole pavilion is going to be an interactive area with some of your favorite characters, and we haven't heard much about it since. Now, we do still believe it's being worked on because you can see people working on the Wonders of Life Pavilion, and it's still included in the EPCOT experience. The EPCOT experience is that great underrated show that shows you what's coming to EPCOT, and it featured the Play Pavilion, it featured Moana, it used to also feature the upcoming Mary Poppins attraction and the reimagining of Spaceship Earth. Both of those things have been pulled out of it, which is kind of Disney's way of saying, these are on the back burner for now. But the Play Pavilion is still part of the EPCOT experience, which says to us it's still coming, we just don't know when. So, as I've said 50 times probably already in this video, stay tuned to AllEars. We'll announce things as we find out more information. Another change coming to Walt Disney World that we don't know when yet, the refurbishment of Splash Mountain here in the Magic Kingdom. Disney announced a while ago that it was going to be reimagined not only here in the Magic Kingdom, but also in Disneyland to be a Princess and the Frog attraction. I, for one, cannot wait for this attraction. They're going to do new music, they're going to do incredible animatronics. It's still going to have the thrill of Splash Mountain, it's still going to have that track, but I love Princess Tiana. I think that's a great way to reimagine this attraction. And while we don't know much about it, we have seen some concept art, and we do know that this is going to take place after the story of the Princess and the Frog. So who knows what we're going to see, and more importantly, who knows when we're going to see it. At this point, Disney hasn't announced when Splash's reimagining will happen, but that is something that we're constantly on the look for. at the time I'm filming this, we don't have a lot of information about Connections Cafe and Eatery. It was just announced at the end of 2021. It is going to be a quick service location, and this is what's replacing Electric Umbrella, may it rest in pieces, at the front of the park. That's pretty much all I know at this point, but we're going to keep you updated. So we don't have an opening date for this one or even an opening year at this point, but hopefully we'll be eating at a new restaurant in Future World soon. And that brings us to Section 5, things that are still missing and we have no idea if and when they will return. Starting with the Disney Dining Plan. The Disney Dining Plan was a very popular add-on. If you were staying at a Walt Disney World resort, there were various levels of the plan, but basically it allowed you to prepay for some of your food with your vacation package. Then you would be allotted a certain amount of snacks, table service, and quick service meals based on which package you were offered. And a lot of people really liked it because it took a lot of the planning budget-wise when it came to Walt Disney World. And if you planned correctly and ate higher-end items, you actually could save money using the Disney Dining Plan. It wasn't for everybody, but it was a very, very popular option. Now, Disney did at one point say that the dining plan would be returning and they would give more details, but as of time of filming, Disney hasn't released any more details about when the dining plan is coming back, who would be allowed the dining plan, what kind of options there would be. So, as always, stay tuned. Not only are we unsure of when the Disney Dining Plan will return, but we're also not sure when Tables in Wonderland will return. This was this incredible discount card that was available for certain groups of people, such as annual pass holders, DVC, and Florida residents. But it gave you 20% off your bill, including alcohol, at a lot of restaurants around Walt Disney World. It also gave you some other perks like free valet parking at the resorts if you were going there to dine. It was an incredible discount card if you go a lot or were local. Still no word on that when that one's returning, but for me personally, I really want Tables in Wonderland back. While Storybook Dining with Snow White marked a momentous occasion in Walt Disney World, it was the first face character dining experience to come back in Walt Disney World. There are still lots of character dining experiences that haven't reopened yet, and character dining's not back to normal no matter what. For starters, you're still missing princesses like actors just behind me. Cinderella's Royal Table doesn't have all of the princesses back. Trattoria Al Forno hasn't started their princess brunch as well. You've also, at the character dinings, they have reopened. Things are a little bit different. The characters don't come to your table, they can't sign autograph books. It's still that distance experience. We don't know when that'll be modified, when that will be changed and things will go back to normal at either the character dining or the character meet and greet locations, but we're going to continue to keep you posted. Character dining's not the only thing we're waiting on returning. There's a lot of restaurants that still haven't reopened. Signature restaurants such as Victorian Albert's and Chico over at the Animal Kingdom Lodge haven't reopened. Dinner shows such as the Hoop-De-Doo Musical Review. We're waiting for all of these things to come back, so again, we're going to have to just keep you posted. I'm sorry I've said this 10,000 times, but that's how it is these days. Another thing we're not sure of when it will return to normal are character meet and greets. While at the end of 2021, a few modified character meet and greet locations did reopen. Town Square Theater, where you can meet Mickey in a celebration outfit, Princess Fairy Tale Hall, meeting Minnie over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, as well as some of the Disney Junior characters. Some of the princesses are out and about in EPCOT, Mickey over at EPCOT. While some of those have reopened, they are at a modified distance meet and greet, meaning you can't give hugs, you can't get autographs. Most of them don't have PhotoPass with them, but you can stand 6 feet away from them and chat with them and take a selfie or have a cast member use your phone to take a picture. But we have no idea when the rest of the meet and greet locations will reopen, such as the Adventurers Outpost here in Animal Kingdom. This is where you used to be able to meet Mickey and Minnie in their safari outfits, and it was super duper cute. So again, we're not sure when the rest of these character meet and greets are going to reopen and when they will go back to normal. Will you be able to hug them anytime in 2022? Can you get your autograph book signed? I don't know. We'll find out together, I guess, and you better believe I'm going to fill an autograph book. I don't care how old I am. Don't worry about it. While Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular opened at the end of 2021, just a few weeks ago at this point, we are still waiting to hear on other shows and if and when they're going to reopen here at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Voyage of the Little Mermaid, the show with the puppet, the giant Ursula, that has yet to be announced if it's coming back or when it's coming back, as well as the Star Wars fireworks show that they do on the Chinese theater. These are actually very cool fireworks where they do projections from the films set to that new beautiful, beautiful John Williams score, and we don't know when or if those are ever going to see the sky again, but hopefully they will because they're pretty cool if you are a Star Wars fan. And while we did get the return of some of the atmosphere performers around the parks, we got back some things over at Animal Kingdom, the Kora Tinga Tinga, the Tamu Tamu Drummers over at the Grand Floridian, the Pianist came back, Yeehaw Bob came back to Port Orleans. There still are a few key ones missing. I'm talking about the Grand Floridian Society Orchestra over at the Grand, the Citizens of Hollywood here, the Citizens of Main Street at Magic Kingdom. Some of those just atmosphere entertainers, a lot of performers around the world at Epcot. Again, some have come back, but some are still missing. So I know a lot of that has to do with unions and contracts and safety, and I fully understand all that, and I want everyone to be able to come back in a healthy and safe way, but I really hope that we get to see the return of more streetmosphere around the parks and resorts, because there is something just magic about the Citizens of Hollywood and the Grand Society Orchestra and those performers around Epcot. It just makes these places come alive, so I hope they come back. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is another experience that we don't know when and if it's coming back. This is that makeover for little children 12 years and under where they can be fully transformed into a Disney princess. There are different packages you can do. Some are just hair and nails and makeup. Some include all the way up to a beautiful and elaborate gown and all the accessories and photos and all kinds of things. So this was a very, very popular offering for little ones. A lot of people loved having their kids or their kids getting their makeover inside Cinderella Castle and then being a princess for the day. But this is, again, something we don't know when it's coming back. How it will come back, will it be modified? So with all of the things in this category, this is just why you need to subscribe to our newsletter and follow us on social media, because as soon as we get details, we share them. But right now, we got no details on Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Another thing we don't know if and when it'll return this year are the actual holiday parties for Christmas and Halloween. While in 2020 there weren't any exclusive after-hour type events for Christmas and Halloween, in 2021 they did have after-hours events for both of the holidays, but they were kind of watered-down versions of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. I think the Christmas after-hours was a lot better than Halloween. It certainly felt more like a party because it did have fireworks and a stage show and a full parade, but are the parties going to come back in their full form? Follow-up question, when are other after hours going to come back? After Hours is an event that Disney does not just for Halloween and Christmas. They've done a villain-themed one before, and they've done them just regular as a way to let you in the park at a very limited capacity so you can ride a bunch of rides for a few hours in the evening. But there's been no word on any type of after hours coming back in the spring, so we, as always, will keep you posted. Chapter 6 of this harrowing tale. Things that are weird right now and could change at any minute. Something that's a little unusual right now, annual pass sales. When the Disney parks reopened, Disney completely stopped selling annual passes, and it wasn't for a very, very long time that they finally started selling them again. And they had completely restructured them from the way they were, being called different things, changing what perks are available. But then, right before the holidays, they decided to stop selling all but one level of the pass, and the only one still available was the one for Florida residents only. At the time I'm filming this, it's around the holidays. They're still not for sale. I don't know when they're going to come back. Disney has said that they are able to pause the sale of annual passes, and while they haven't officially confirmed why, it's likely because of the park pass reservation system, with annual pass holders not being able to book enough passes, the park's hitting capacity, so then there's no point in selling someone a product that they can't use. But this never happened prior to the closure. Disney never stopped selling annual passes completely, so it's something that they've said can happen time and time again, so it's possible that we could see them going hot and cold and turning on and off annual pass sales as we continue to navigate the uncertainty right now. One thing that is certainly unusual being in the theme parks this time of life is the fact that face masks are required at certain areas inside the parks and resorts. Here at Walt Disney World, the policy has been for several months now that masks are required indoors regardless of vaccination status for all guests and cast members. This includes queues, attractions, shops, restaurants, common areas, and hotels. That's the current mask policy. We've seen them fluctuate on what the policy is, but that's the current one right now, and we'll continue to update you as there are updates to the health and safety policies. Another thing that's a little bit different than what we were used to prior to the closure, Disney Park Pass reservations. These were These were introduced when the parks reopened last summer as a way to control the capacity of the guests going in each park. Not only did you have to have a park ticket, but you actually had to book a specific park reservation for each day of your ticket. That definitely wasn't something that happened prior to the closures, but it's still happening now. You have to have a park pass and a park pass reservation in order to get into the theme park. Another thing that's weird with parks right now is park hopping is restricted. For a long time, park hopping wasn't available when the parks first reopened. However, on January 1st of last year, park hopping resumed. However, you still had to have a park reservation for your first park, and you cannot park hop until after 2. That's the current policy. You can't go to another park till after 2. You only have to have a park pass reservation for your first park, but it's certainly unusual compared to when you could just hop whenever you'd like. We assume this will be updated at some point in the future, but we don't know when, we don't know how, for either park passes or park reservations, how that will be updated. So again, stay tuned. Well, friends, that is a wrap on my 2022 video in Walt Disney World. Hopefully that helped you plan for what's coming this year. We've got a lot to look forward to, a lot we still don't know about, and we'll be keeping you in the loop as we go. Let me know what you're most excited about for in this year. Let me know if you're visiting this year, what videos you want to see. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media at AllEars.net, and until next time, I'm Molly, and it's been magical.
Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.